everyone. Welcome in to another edition of the Justin Time Podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and here with me, like always, is my guest, Will.
Brother, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. I'm excited now for football season.
As you see, I got my alternative background, the beautiful purple screen.
I'm excited about where this team can go.
Yes.
I don't think we're going anywhere, but after on October 26th, the outlook of this season got a lot better. We could go from a 6-win season to possibly a 7 or 8 win season.
It depends, what a difference it make when you have alignment. That's been the story about LSU the last couple week and a half. This has been a train wreck, laughing stock, fill in the blank. That's what it's been the last 10 days or so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Been a been one. All happens from the top of the state, actually.
That literally.
Go over with this timeline. So as everybody knows, LSU got thoroughly embarrassed on October 25th.
Yeah.
October 26th, Brian Kelly gets a pink slip for his birthday present.
Surprise.
Surprise, you're fired, get out. Then Joe Sloan gets fired the next day. I don't know why that dude wasn't cleaning out his office as soon as Brian Kelly got fired. He
And
knew
you've been calling that for a month and a half.
he should have known he was going to be the next one to go. He was probably supposed to be the first one to go. Here's where it gets ugly, folks. On October 29th, the great governor dipshit of Louisiana slams Woodard, sticking his nose in places it shouldn't belong. It doesn't belong. And he keeps insisting that the taxpayers are going to pay for Brian Kelly's buyout. And he's insisting because he hasn't read Skip Bertman's book on the taxpayers fit the bill for the renovations to the stadium and everything that goes on with the athletic department. Moron, you're right. The taxpayers do, but only a select group because we pay for season tickets and we pay the season tickets and then we pay the donation fund or whatever that you want to call it.
That's right.
Anyway, that moron on October 29th slams Woodard. I'm pretty sure October 30th, Woodard gets fired. No surprise there. The governor is a moron. He keeps insisting on stuff. But he's technically right. Okay, he's technically right. The taxpayers will fit some sort of bill for Brian Kelly's buyout. And that's just because the prices of box combos are about to go up again. I mean, you go to Cane's, your box combo is about to go up because we got to pay for that buyout somehow.
Hey, candy axe, whatever you call it, brother.
Yep. So
Whatever
then we
you get.
forward to this week. And yesterday, what is that dude's last name? Wade Rouse?
Wade Rouse.
Wade Rouse. Roos, whatever you want to call him. He's the new president at LSU. I probably should learn how to say his name. Not going to lie, though, when I saw his last name and how it was spelled, I only read it with one S, and I really thought he owned Rouse's because it would make sense for what Governor Landry would do. LSU promotes Burge as the next AD. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I definitely like to hire. Like we talked about, just like I was saying before, we've been the talk of the nation, and for the wrong reason the last week and a half. And we always talk about just any aspect of life. Talk about foundation, how it's important, especially like with companies and organizations. It has to start at the top. I remember us going back this past summer. We spent all summer when we was reviewing Skip Bertman's book. Well, the book about Skip Bertman. How he beat LSU, like how he made strategic decisions, calculated moves to get the baseball program to where it is today, and even the athletic program as a whole. Like when you have a strong leader, and you have to have the key components around him, above him, that's all aligned. We did not have that really. And it was really exposed in a terrible way because you have people who technically shouldn't be super involved in this stuff, regardless of their title. They want to stick their nose in it, like you said.
Yeah. And he just, at least if you're going to stick your nose in it, do a little bit of research.
That's right.
Especially when you put on the committee coming out and saying, I don't know what that man is talking about. The taxpayers have never and will never put the bill for LSU coach, and I mean, I thought it was AI, but apparently they came out and they had that press conference for Scott getting fired. And they asked Kim Mulkey's assistant why she wasn't there, and he says she's heartbroken.
Yeah,
But I kind of Verge had been there. I mean, I like it. I don't like how it happened, but I mean, at least he's there and he's was on that Bertman team that Scott was on. And it's like you
that's
said
right.
when we were texting when it first happened, people forget how bad Joe Oliva was.
Man, because like I was telling you, one of my coworkers, we talk about this quite a bit. We talk about just I brought up Oliva. This it's amazing how people forget. They forget to remember where they once were. So it's just I remember because during our Joe Oliva was in office when we were during our college years, and that was just not good. So
But I will say this, okay? People credit Scott Woodard for the 2019 national championship in football.
mhm,
He was the sitting AD for that year,
yeah,
but that wasn't his coach. We didn't win anything else, but Joe Oliva hired Edo and got us that great season in 2019.
yeah, it's just
That was Scott Woodard's
like
first year as AD.
yeah, just like and just to really to piggyback off, just like you said, what you were saying, like you just based on how things happen with the governor, not surprised that he's gone. I thought it was just too hasty of a move. It was like petty by leadership.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, when you have some and you shouldn't flex your I understand like you want to operate your power. I don't mind people having power. Don't abuse it. So you just be and like if you like you said earlier, if you're going to be more if you're gonna use your leverage, at least be more tactful, be more calculated behind the scenes. Not in the
exactly.
dirty way, not in the dirty way, but just understand you have this platform, you're responsible for so much, and we are a global renowned university. We have historically known and successful programs. They're very popular, even more so in the last few years with the
Yeah.
championships. So when you have this extra attention, you have to be very calculated on how you respond to things, how you make decisions, because it affects everything under you and it shifts the dynamics about you, the perception around you.
Yeah. Like, you mean you gotta look at this, Jeff Landry, and think, this is a really bad look.
Yeah,
Feel like he's running off the thing of ever since he tried and failed with that live tiger on the field last year at the Bama game, working on what is it? There's no such thing as bad publicity. Yes, there is. You say some right things, paying these coaches and Scott being involved in the two highest buyouts in college football history. But you can't keep running your mouth about something you have no business in and saying, we're going to give these coaches an incentive based contract. No high end college football playoff coach or high end coach that they're going to throw millions of dollars at another school is going to come to LSU with an incentive based contract solely on how their team performs because they're getting paid millions of dollars at other schools.
that's it.
I mean, you got to be smarter.
And yeah, and you see like how the candidates dropped off because when all with all the upheaval, with the organization, with the school. So like and that's why I noted in the notes, just because of the lack of the full time AD, they got pushback from candidates like Dan Lanning, like he bowed out of it, as if he was even in it to begin with. But this is what happens when you don't have alignment at the top, because my job itself is already difficult. Yes, I have this money. Yes, I have resources, but
Exactly.
other programs are historically successful in football as well, or this whatever sport that you coach. So I need the backing of my bosses, and you can
Exactly.
leave the rest up to me. But when you don't have that, that's why I was so big when the president, you know, dropped the enter attack for Verge Osbury. So okay, so we got the president, now we got the AD, now we go from there. Now we get the coach, all aligned.
Oh, yeah. I was just pulling up this WBRZ posted an email from Brian Kelly to Scott Woodard on Sunday, October 26th at 5:45 p.m.
Mhm.
Scott and team. Sending a quick note to confirm that following my termination during our meeting today, I will return all the LSU materials in my possession as required by my contract. Let me know if it's better for me to clean out my office or if you would prefer to pack everything up and send it to me. I assume HR will touch base regarding any other housekeeping matters out there, but let me know if you need anything else from me in the meantime. As we discussed in our meeting, I am open to your desire to reach a settlement of what's owed to me under the contract, although it would have to make sense financially. Despite your decision to let me go today, I am grateful to have had the opportunity to lead this program over the last 4 years and wish you all the best going forward. Best, Brian. Feel like in that he added, and run your program into the ground. I mean, there's nobody on planet Earth if you were unexpectedly fired who can get a moving crew to move your stuff. Where are you moving your stuff to, Brian? Where are you going, BK? You just got fired. How is movers already moving you out? I don't understand it.
Like I said, a lot.
You're right. We've been on that McAfee show with Governor Landry.
Mhm.
I haven't been keeping up with the coaches search.
It's
To
a
be honest,
lot of the we can definitely get to that.
all I know is that Shaq, I guess he was trolling people. Somehow that said, I heard that Nick Saban was in Baton Rouge. Heard it through the grapevine that Saban was in Baton Rouge. And then Osbury said during an interview with Moscona,
Yeah,
Saban and I talk every 2 to 3 weeks, and he is not coming back to LSU. He's not coaching. But he did say if he decides he wanted to coach, he would be the first one to go pick him up and bring him here. All right. I see that we've got our main targets for coaching. I mean, I don't see it making I'd like Lane Kiffin to come.
Mhm.
I don't see it making sense for him to leave Ole Miss.
Why is that?
Ole Miss has never won a championship. They claim, for God's sakes, they claim a SEC title that they didn't even appear in back when Eli was the quarterback. You go 9-3, you get a 10-win season over there consistently, they'll build you a statue. He keeps over there and he keeps winning. He keeps having 10-win seasons, and he keeps beating the shit out of Mississippi State every year. They will build that man a statue and name the field after him like he's Nick Saban.
Vaught Hemingway Kiffin Stadium. I can see it now.
They'll name it after him. I mean, why would you leave that? Unless you've got somebody like Ed O who's the scope higher underneath you and tell you, grow a pair and come to LSU and fight for a championship. They'll give you the money and the resources you need. We just got to get you over there and get it done.
Yeah, so it's they claim 3 natties, but, like, one of them were, like, I know the 1959, 1960, 1962. The 59 title was retroactively claimed. So, offhand, I don't know who won that one, 'cause I know we won in '58.
Yeah, Auburn
So,
claims that one too.
yeah,
I don't like how schools can claim these national championships.
that's the biggest problems I've had for college sports for many years.
Yeah, that's why I'm liking the playoff system now. I wish they would go more, you know, but Drinkowitz, honestly, I'm not sold on him.
Like, this I put notes in there too. I like what he's at Missouri, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but, I mean, there's context to it.
I mean, you got the Baker connection, and I think if whoever you are coming in to coach, you need to keep him and his whole defensive staff. I saw something. Let me pull his text up. I saw it because I think it was a text this week about Brian Kelly and the way he ran his team. I think it was on Instagram. Can't find it, but somebody said, with Brian Kelly. Oh, okay, here it is. It's a tweet. I was looking for something like per LSU interim Frank Wilson. Blake Baker is asking for a more realistic look in practices in game-like situations during practice. Wilson says that this will happen, and Tuesday will be a physical practice, giving both sides of the ball a true look at inside the run. Okay, so you telling me in the tweet said, so you telling me Ryan Kelly had our boys playing patty cake and two-hand touch football at practices during game week?
Those are
I
like big
think Brian
catchers to
Kelly
me.
wanted to. I think he wanted to be fired. I think he wanted to be let go. But I I don't know if Drinkowitz can come in. We it's a like Jacob Heston said, you don't come to LSU for a job. You come to LSU because you love LSU. You have to bring that passion, that fire. I believe it was a video for sure from their show. Jacob Heston said, if you can't tell the guy bring in 5 guys and you can't tell which one has passion for this job, which one has the passion to win, let him in the thing. He'll do it for free. He won't even charge you a consultant fee. He'll do it for free. And you'll come out with the best championship coach and the winning coach.
That's been look, and like this when you talk about the passion, that's been a big theme this whole season, especially. Just and I never was a person that really gets like too deep in like, is he an LSU guy? Is he from here? Like I can care less where you from. No, because we had Nick Saban's not from here, Skip Barber's not from here. Now, granted, let me be fair, those are historic outliers, all-time outliers. But but I think
But
just
Jay
oh, yeah, go
here.
ahead.
Jay Johnson's not from here. And all he's done is delve deep. I said it last podcast. Guy like Jay Johnson comes in, he delves deep into the culture of Louisiana. The man loves Louisiana. He loves the letters he coaches for, and he gets the buy-in from those players just from his passion. We need a guy from with passion. Every time I look at Drinkowitz, I don't see passion, and I don't
No,
know if
no,
that's just a northern guy coaching at a university where he doesn't have 100% buy-in that they can win a championship with, or what is going on. But he pulls in massive talent to Missouri every year. But the last time Missouri was relevant in this conference was when they first got here and they went to back SEC championship games and won the East. Weren't they under Odom back then?
say one day in the what?
Weren't they under Odom back then when they did that?
Think so. Let me see. Pull it. Yeah, Barry Odom. Yeah, Barry Odom coached 16 to 21. Well, 16 to 19.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
I
probably
don't
or
think
and like well, and you said like three straight like conference title game appearances.
I don't know if it was 3 straight, but it was definitely 2 straight. It was back to
I
back.
want to. It might have been might have been Gary Pinkel because I mean back so because
Back when they first came into the conference.
yeah because
But we
like
were in
Gary Pinkel
it
started coaching Missouri in 2001 and then mid 2000s that's when he started to pick it up and then like in 2000 because so Mizzou joined the conference in 2012 2013 yeah 2013 they went 12 and 2 in 2014 they went 11 and 3 so they won the Cotton Bowl in 13 and they won the Citrus Bowl in 14.
yeah, I don't like Dan Mullen on this list. I think he's the Jimbo Fisher of Florida. He did make Mississippi State a real competitor, but when he got to Florida, he just proved that I don't know what happened at Florida. I don't know if he just got too big or if it was karma because what he did in Mississippi State, or is Florida just doomed job to begin with?
Yeah, I feel like they said like he was just distracted. I guess you could say. I mean, because I mean he was turning out some real solid teams. I mean, it looks like it looks bad looking back on it because of what's happened with Napier. But I know like this because I'm looking up UNLV stats. Offense. They points per game. They average 37 points a game. That's 12th in the nation. They're top 25 in yards per game. Points per play, number 9, and I get different conferences and whatnot. But, obviously, if you look at their defensive stats, I think they're, like, in the bottom of the country. But
I think LSU. I guess we can get into this after. We'll get into this after. Let's finish with the coaching stuff and then we'll talk about that because it's got to do with playoff vote. What do you think about John Summerall?
obviously, it's a young guy, well, younger guy, so I think, obviously, he has some years on him to coach. Obviously, what he's done at, Tulane, really just they're unbelievably respectable program considering their tier of competition. You have a state winner, obviously in state, so I know that's going to something like that. Like him, he will win the introductory press conference, he will win the fan base at least initially.
Yeah, because I
So,
mean, let's I looked up his coaching record, okay? His coaching record as of early November 2025, he is 38-11 in the 2 teams he's coached, and he led Troy to 2 Sun Belt Conference championships in 22 and 23. He is according to this, he was 23-4 at Troy, the 2 seasons he was there. But 22 and 23, he was 23-4 at Troy, which means he had to beat some SEC caliber opponents.
I was just gonna bring up because, like I said, Troy's been a upset slayer, Goliath slayer in like the last number of years. As well, going back to this year, earlier this year with Clemson, I know like they've fallen off, but they had Clemson on the ropes at Troy, but that's like the foundation with when you have like good coaching and they make do, like he helps lay the foundation moving forward for the next guy. But then you look at what he did at Troy, look at what he did with at Tulane recently. Like I said, I feel like he would win. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's my first choice, but I get the support behind his name.
Yeah, but, you can win at Troy, then you can pretty much win anywhere. I don't know too much about Kenny, what is it, Dillingham?
Dillingham, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know too much.
obviously they made it to the playoffs. Arizona State made it to the playoffs last year. Almost pulled off an upset against Texas, but so obviously he's built something very steady there because Arizona State was, you know, they were a mess for a little bit. So and, I put a note. No, I was gonna say like because Jay Johnson came from Arizona. Not to say they're gonna have it's good apples to apples, of course, but I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Whoever we get is gonna have to have passion. I mean, Frank Wilson's on this list. He has passion, but I don't know if he wants the head coaching job.
I mean, some guys don't want it. I mean, like I said, that'll be up to him. I know, like he'll have his chance as the interim tag the last month of the season. Same thing with Kelvin Shepard. Obviously, great, won a championship with the Tigers, a linebacker in his freshman year. You know, big reason why those defenses were steady in that Les Miles era. And then obviously he's been a coach, position coach in the NFL with the Lions right now. He's really, really built up respect in the league, and of course, he has the resume with the Tigers. So obviously
Yeah,
that would be a massive hire because they're guys, former players, they're generally passionate
yeah.
about their programs.
So it's like the thing with the Honey Badger, though. He's been a position coach. Not that the Honey Badger has ever coached. Been a position coach, but can he handle head coach?
Right.
That's something we got to look into. But who knows? This coaching search might come out, and it might come from a guy. They might get a guy from out of left field, like they did with Brian Kelly. Because I mean, I had no money on Brian Kelly being the coach when they announced him. I was
Yeah,
kind of surprised.
yeah, like when we talked about previously, that was a big shocker to me that they were able to bring him down here. Like I said, of course, it didn't work out ultimately, but my thing is, you know, going back to Verge real quick. This is a very big opportunity for him. I know, like you said earlier, just not the ideal circumstance, not the most smoothest of transitions, but change does happen quickly. And I think if just given his track record with the university, both as a player, has worked his way up, seen success. Obviously, it's a different seat, but I know this is it's a safe hire given like his resume, given his connection to the school. So like I'm support him fully. And hopefully it works out for his sake,
Yeah. All right. So let's jump on into this college football first playoff.
brother.
Anybody jumps out at you?
I cannot get past the fact that Indiana of all schools is in a contending conversation in the sport of football. A school that's known historically, they built their legacy in basketball. Men's basketball, legendary coach Bob Knight winning multiple national championships. They had the undefeated season back in the '70s And they said like their team the following year, the team before that was better than the undefeated team. So it was one of those years. But I just never thought I'd see the day. I thought it was just like a blimp in the radar last year. I said, listen, they're still a basketball school, play a week schedule. They get showed up by Ohio State. So I mean, I give them credit. I know like they strategically schedule away, but like I said, they get like a big win, I could change my tune.
Yeah, one team I'm surprised that made it all the way back from death to hell, Texas.
Oh man, this look, and this is one of the reasons where you don't. It's hard to prejudge. A lot of people were just out on, oh my gosh, Arch garbage. I mean, listen, he wasn't good. In
I
fairness, he wasn't good. Wasn't
can't
good.
say nothing. They all blew that game against Vandy.
Listen, I mean, they're justified. People were justified to the extent. I mean, like, but this is his first year as a starter. I mean, they were like hyping up for a couple years. They was so ready for Quinn Ewers to get out of there. They could put Arch in there, hype machine all off season. But I love how it's been a great rebound for them.
Yeah, but all Arch has done as their quarterback, even when he started last year, he played against opponents that weren't SEC caliber opponents. He never once started a SEC game last year. One that sickens me, but they deserve to be there. I'll give credit where credit is due. It's Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
That's sick. We're so bad at football, and they're so good. I'm surprised Miami's still ranked after their 2 losses and piss poor performances.
Well, they're like, it's funny. I was just listening to that like Atlanta sports radio show a little while ago. They was talking about they were talking about Carson Beck, how he's, they was, and they were talking about like the Miami fans, they were getting on him, they were trash talking him like in the first part of the season, like, oh, just it was Georgia was the problem, Mike Bobo was the problem, like they don't develop quarterbacks well, this, that, and the third, but he said, listen, calm down, give it time, and look what you got.
Georgia's ranked number 5, and Carson Beck is wishing he'd have stayed
Listen,
with that
and the
great
thing,
defense.
yeah. And like, and I will say this though, like, 'cause, with my coworkers, he's a big Georgia guy. Last year we was talking, sitting there like, I don't hate Beck at all. I just feel like you can he consistently make the big plays? Because like as
Yeah,
good as their defense was last year, I mean, they weren't as nearly as dominant as they were in like their championship runs. A guy like Jalen Carter, Keely Ringo, all those guys, but they weren't nearly as dominant. Still really good, but not as nearly as dominant. So. And you can't keep asking your defense, especially in this era of football. I said, listen, it's tailored to the offense. You got to carry the load. Now, to his credit, last year he did improve at the end, but before he got hurt, but you still had to come back healthy and shed that criticism. So he has 6 picks in the last 2 games for Miami.
yeah. I mean, you look at stuff like, okay, Vandy. Speaking of coaches for LSU, I wouldn't mind Clark Lee. I don't know if he can win,
Yeah, he
I don't know if he'll win it.
unbelievable job.
Put together a good run at Vandy.
I mean, like just I go back to James Franklin laying that foundation, going back 9 and 4 back to back years. And matter of fact, let me pull up Vandy real quick. I just want to give a historic context because I think this is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you got teams like is Georgia Tech still undefeated?
I think they lost actually. Yeah, they lost to NC State 48-36. Yeah.
I look at all of this and it just to, you know, bring LSU back into this with this weekend.
Mhm.
Alabama deserves to be at number 4. I didn't think I would say it, and I hate to admit it,
Yeah, me
but
too. Trust me.
what they have done over there is what a team should typically do during the season. You start off terrible and progressively each week get better and better and better. And Alabama currently looks like to see him winning the national championship.
They've been rolling, man.
They haven't taken a break yet.
They really responded. Like, and it pains me to say, because I know a lot of people hate LSU, a lot of people down here, there are certain people, not a lot, they hate LSU, so they support Bama, get on the any bandwagon that's anti-LSU, that's what they're gonna go with. So they have a lot to cheer about. being fake.
Yeah, I think A&M right now, only reason Texas A&M stays undefeated until they go rolling it down and go play at Texas. Okay, I see them going 11-1 this year. Only reason I say that is because Texas is gonna be fired up. They playing at home this year. But the only reason Texas A&M hasn't lost a game yet is because they hadn't had that October game against Alabama. I said what I said. I mean, you can't look that bad in the first half against LSU or the whole game defensively against but ever since A&M played, but I tell you what, I think we're gonna get beat on Saturday night. Something tells me. I'm a
Wouldn't
huge
shock me.
LSU fan. We're gonna get beat unless they come out and they run a totally different offensive scheme. They put it together in 2 weeks. Then they come out with fire. It might be a closer game. I think we're gonna get beat though. But it's not gonna be a dumpster fire like I thought it would be.
Yeah, last year was a dumpster fire. It was tough. 2
Yeah.
years ago, was a
And I
dumpster fire
think
defensively, but
yeah. I think depending on what happens with Oklahoma the rest of the season, I think LSU could potentially upset Oklahoma at Oklahoma. It just all depends on what kind of passion level they bring out, what kind of level they bring out to get to where they need to be. I mean, I like the college football playoff ranking. There's teams on here that like it all boils down to what I said when we did the first podcast on this back in August.
all
The AP poll and the coaches poll don't mean anything.
right, that especially not after
I think
November,
they
after October. I'm sorry.
think they should come out with the college football playoff poll, go with the month of September when everybody plays their non-conference games or their historically typically weaker games, you know.
That's right.
Go in October when those games start to matter. Have the first playoff poll be the second week in October or the first weekend in October after the first games, because that's when everybody typically plays their tougher games.
Yeah, that's right.
And do
I agree.
AP in the coaches poll, you know, because nobody after this, nobody cares what you rank. Just have it like the NFL where it just you come out with the rankings, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, especially
You're
with
gonna
playing the playoff era.
if you're gonna use this as you go hard and die by the college football playoff poll, like committee of people who probably hadn't touched a football in their entire lives, use them the whole season. Guarantee you, Oregon. The only reason Oregon is one of those teams that are ranked so high is because they got 2 people on the board that are Oregon fans.
Like, Skull always talk about like, these guys in suburban Dallas. It's like like just don't do anything.
But if you put him on the committee and it'd be some dude from the suburbs in Louisiana going up there. That dude needs to learn when to shut up. When we ignore Jeff Landry goes away and goes and does other stupid stuff. You know, we let him have his tiger on the field last year. It went terribly. We ignored him. Everything he had to say after that. But for a week last week, that just goes to show you how much of a train wreck LSU actually was when we had Matt Moscona fighting with the governor over nothing. One of my students asked me this week if I thought there was a way if LSU won out, they would be back in the playoff talks. Honestly, 3 losses. I mean, I can't count A&M because that's an outlier. It's like Brian Kelly said, they told me if I lose this game, I'm getting fired. I'm tired of these Cajuns down here telling me how to do my job every week and being right all the time. Defense, I'll sit the second half. We go put the practice squad in, and then I'll be gone, and y'all can have y'all team, you know? Because you don't move like that. You don't move like that after you get fired. If it was no, they fired me all of a sudden. But my point is, if we go in and we go into Tuscaloosa at number 4 Alabama, and we come in and we handle business at 11:45 a.m. against Arkansas. Well, I mean, what Kentucky and Arkansas aren't doing us any favors being on our schedule at this point, you know.
Like we said
And
2
then
years
we
ago.
go into Oklahoma. We go into Oklahoma at 12, and we beat them all 12 playoff teams with hopes. We go in and beat them. I still don't see it unless we beat Alabama like A&M beat us 49-25 or whatever.
Mhm.
They would have to be blowout wins to make it to the playoffs at this point. Brian Kelly assured you he was not a playoff championship winning coach. I mean, Joe Sloan did a terrible job. I don't know if you come back after a bye week, the energy level will be up. But I don't think you can pull it off. Even if you beat Alabama, like I said, if you beat Alabama, but you beat them by 30 points, and then you turn around and you win at home against Arkansas and you win at home against Western Kentucky, and then you go to Oklahoma and blow them out by 30, 40 points, I think you can make an argument that LSU deserves to be in it because their
So
only their two losses other than that are ranked, they lost to number 3, they lost to number 6 Ole Miss by a touchdown, and 16 Vandy at these opposed day by a touchdown. At Ole Miss and at Vandy with the coach that was hell bent on holding them back. Like
so
I
what
said, they would have to blow out and Oklahoma out, but that's the only path I can see for them to make a playoff this year.
so what you're saying is they need a lot of help.
Yeah, they need Alabama's whole defense and offense to get the flu or something this week. Honestly, I don't know how Oklahoma played against Texas and they looked against Texas and how they looked. If we get weeks back, this is a whole different conversation.
I'm with you.
But it looks like he's out again this weekend.
Which I saw.
Yeah. Well, any last thoughts?
Hey, brother, I want to tell you, we shouldn't be enjoying your content for free.
I'm working on that.
It's a privilege.
Need a few more viewers and listeners, and then we can.
I'm working on the views, as you know. I work on it every day. Of
Yeah, I appreciate that.
course. I got a new pickleball racket too. A pseudo gift. Yeah, so it's gonna be a spare.
Yeah.
So we
Look,
gotta
when
talk
we
about
get
that too.
to, I'm gonna get. Yeah, I'm gonna get with you tonight. I mean, I got to do. Got some stuff for work. The last week of this month, I'm completely off, and we should definitely
Okay,
get back into it.
for sure.
It look. I'm gonna remind everybody. If it looks like I'm looking down a lot, it's because my camera's right there, and I used to do it on my phone. So I'm used to looking at Will while we're doing this.
Same, looking at you, brother.
And
I know my
now
camera's up here. I'm looking here. So
now I gotta look down and it just looks every time I watch videos back, it looks weird that I'm looking down. Even the ones I did solo, I'm looking down. I'm
right,
not
yeah.
used to the camera yet.
As long as we hear each other and communicate better.
Yep, I enjoyed it.
Always.
Everybody, please, if you like, commented, and subscribed, as always, have a great day, great morning, great night, whatever you have, just make it a great one. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Have a good